Right, here we are back on VP4TV. We're doing a live stream test, so we're just going to be jumping in and out of rooms just to see how our live stream goes, whether it survives or whether we go down. We've got Mr. Bill and Spectre Dawn playing some 9-ball in a challenge room. Winner stays on. Eight-ball World War III is coming up in 15 minutes. Well, at least three balls went in there, two on the right side, one on the left. And shot in the one, shot in the two, this rack's over. Or is that the one, or is it the 9-ball? It's a 9-ball. Got it wrong again. Keep thinking that's a 1-ball from a distance. Presumably the 5-ball goes past the 9. It's, oh, it is tight. It's tight, but it does go. Well, a good break. 3 balls in the break. Not a problem in the table, so easy break and run for Bill. Nine ball in a break, 9-ball comes up. Bill stays at the table. And again, all these balls are all central down that middle strip of the table. And Bill should be out again. Only problems from the 2-ball to the 3-ball to start with. If he can get on this 3-ball and get on it pretty good. That isn't it though. But he's done the right thing. Put Spectre Dawn in trouble. And if Spectre Dawn can't get the hit and get it somehow safe, you would think Bill would be all over this like a rash for the run out. He's potting them 2 at a time now. He's just got the right angle. Well, he could have stunned that and then stunned across for the 8 ball. In fact, he probably would have been better doing that. He would have been better shape than this. Just makes it a wee bit more awkward. Watch the cue ball, and that's why he's missed the 8 ball. He had a slight angle to stun that in and stun across for the 8 ball rather than going to the short side. And of course, he never got good. Inspector Don's going to steal the rack. Break is dry. Now can Bill see the one? No, he can't. Still expect him to jump this and pot it. Cue ball looks as if it might get a bit of that 6 ball. Well, it has done. He hasn't potted a 1. He's left the cut into the corner here past the 7 ball. And the cue ball should be... Well, he's went the other way. I'm surprised at that. Well, that just nudged the 5 ball into a better spot. And now he's going to be a bit hampered. Every time you have to, or any time you have to jack up on the cue ball for whatever reason, just makes it a wee bit more testy, especially digging down and playing those stun shots. It's very easy just to send that object ball a fraction offline, and then at that pace, as soon as it catches these jaws in the corner pockets in VP4, they don't go in. But Bill's going to be out here. And you'll notice they're also playing with the break box on. Break box, of course, is the white lines there, and when you start the rack, the cue ball must be kept in this area. You can't move the cue ball out of it. The game won't let you. You have to break from anywhere in this box, which was a feature that Steve added a few months back, which is in line with many of the major pool tournaments that you'll see now, particularly from Matchroom. Matchroom Sports run a lot of the major pool events now. Not all of them, of course, are still major ones in the States that have been going around for years. But the World Championships, etc., Matchroom organise them, the Moscone Cup and all of that stuff. Not a bad outcome from the jump shot. Now that 8 ball would have been the target area over the right hand side, especially if you just feather the one, but he just got it a wee tiny bit thicker, and now it's exposed there, and that's a far better shot from Bill. Now again, it's not difficult to kick at the one, and there's always a chance you can nudge it along the rail. Oh, hang on a minute. I thought that was going to go. There's always a chance you can, if you get the hit right, you can push that one right along the rail into the right hand corner pocket there. Welcome to Tyler. I'm not streaming with XSplit Gamecaster. I'm actually using Marillus Action at the moment, and I've got the chat. The chat won't appear on screen in the game. The chat just appears on my second monitor for me to read. So they're trading racks here backward and forward, these two. And Bill, in case you don't know, is, in terms of statistics in 9-ball and Virtual Pool 4, since the game went live online, Bill has got an astronomical amount of racks played in 9-ball. Tens of thousands of them. He's miles ahead of anybody else. But Spectre Dawn must be catching him up though, because Spectre Dawn is actually nowadays playing more racks of 9-ball than Bill is on a regular basis. I don't think it's something above and beyond a god that needs to bless my PC. Looks dry again. But look at where that 3-ball has just gone out of the way. Cue ball sitting perfect in the 1-ball. And once again, this should be, from the dry break, it should be a run out for Bill. There isn't any problem in the table. Everything's wide open. And really the only thing he has to do is get from the 4 to the 5 in such a way that he can get out off the 5 and up onto the 6. That's the only probably couple of shots where it can go wrong. So he's got to get good on the 5. It all looks simple. Well, no sooner have I said that than Bill's made a complete hash of that shot in the 4. I think he got disorientated as to where the 5 was. He's going to have to try and bank this. Yeah. So Bill's let him get himself distracted there and made a complete mess of the 4-ball. And he's got away with it. Or has he? Where's the cue ball going? Oh, that's unlucky. Cross bank by Spectre Dawn, and then he goes round the corner and scratches. So Bill gets a second bite at the cherry here. I don't think he'll mess it up this time. Spectre Don says 2 more racks and dinner on the way. Well, that's probably right enough, because I didn't realise it's actually 5 PM here. It's actually close to my dinner time as well. I didn't realise it had actually moved on so late in the day. And then Bill will go. I have to go back to work. I think Bill is on call like 24 hours a day with the job that he does. Right. I think what we'll do is we'll leave them to it. I'm just testing a live stream, that's what I'm doing. But I'm testing it with Marillis Action, which is another live streaming software that I've had for many years. And I don't have on-screen chat on this. I have it on my second monitor. And I'm just doing a little bit of a live stream to see whether we'll cut out or not, or well, not cut out, whether the PC will reboot. Right, so Bill and Spectre Don, they're going to be finished in a minute or two. Spectre Don's going to get his dinner. Bill's going to be heading back to work. I'm just trawling around to see if there's anything else to have a look at. Zangetsu had a room up and there was a couple in it playing. LS3 was in there playing, so was Fast Eddie, but they've gone. LS3's probably gone to get her dinner. Well, the final of the straight pool is on Saturday. I'm going to try and stream it unless Steve is there and he wants to do it. But that's with a caveat, I think is the word we say, that if I do the live stream, there's a high risk that I could have interruptions. I don't even know whether Steve's going to be around, because he said he's got guests over maybe for a few days, so he might be out and about. And of course, at 4 PM in the afternoon, that's 11 AM his time, him being 5 hours behind GMT, or British Summertime as it still is at the moment until the end of the month. So, you know, that's sort of late morning for him, so I don't know what he's doing on Saturday. He hasn't contacted me yet to say that he's going to be around for it. Probably nearer the time he might well do that. Oh, I noticed Zangetsu is online. Zangetsu, of course, was the player that beat Stubb. I don't know whether it was his first match or the second match, but Zangetsu took him out. It might have been a second round match in the last Black Ball World Championships we did. And Zangetsu was a sort of, well, we hadn't heard of him until he signed up for that Black Ball tournament. I believe he signed up for the up and coming one. What room's he in? He did have his own room, as I say, but he's in another room, another Black Ball room. Let's have a look. We'll just go in and watch these two guys. I don't know I don't know who Emo is. I'll find out. He's from Ireland according to that. Zangetsu's South Africa. So Zangetsu on the Reds has just scratched, and Emo's got ball in hand in the kitchen, and he's got a free shot, which means he can get rid of that blocking ball, that red ball. The other problem that Emo has is that the yellow down here in the bottom side, bottom end of the table is clearly blocked by the other red, which at the moment is Zangetsu's lifeline. But that is a very clever little shot. Managed to just squeeze it in off the jaw and also use the red just to nudge it in. So that 8 ball will go past the red, but he's got to get this really flush. That was well done. What was that in the straight? No, it was black ball. It was black ball that Zangetsu. Zangetsu, I don't think he's in. He didn't play the straight pool one that's just about to finish, and I don't think he likes that. He's mostly black ball he plays. That's his game, and he definitely beat Stubb. And he's making a few mistakes here. Now, this is a big test in every billiard game that you're ever going to play. Is picking your way through, particularly when it's like 8 ball and stuff like that. When it's 8 ball and black ball, it's very similar because you've got a set of balls you have to go for. And the test of your skill is being able to manoeuvre the cue ball around to pick off your set of balls. So we're going to get to see Zangetsu having a go here. Now, this, for most skilled players in VP4, is not a difficult table. First of all, the 8 ball goes into both corner pockets, I think, up top. And, well, that's tight that side, but it will go. And if you're a half-decent player, you should be able to get out here. Even I would fancy my chances getting out here. You know, if there's not any balls tied up, that makes your life a lot easier. Then it's just down to your technique and ability to be able to get that cue ball manoeuvred to the right spot for each ball to follow. Now, of course, what's important here is not just potting the yellow in the side. What you've got to do is get somehow decent on the last yellow to make it easy to get up for the 8 ball. And that's exactly what Zangetsu has done, because he can just run through as far as I can see, and he's going to be on that 8 ball. And that's perfect. Just like a little stun run through there. Just let the momentum of that cue ball, because the cue ball in this game is totally deceptive. If you've just come off 9 ball and you come to this game, completely different game. I haven't noticed Zangetsu's picture. What is it? Oh, I've got my live stream thing in the top corner. I can't see the question. It just says, "Are you something?" You'll need to tell me what it says, because it's covered up. I can see that it says yes and no in the 2 boxes, but I can't see what the question is. It's covered up. Are you drunk? So Zangetsu on the yellows, and again there's a test this time, but he's now caused major problems here for himself because he's brushed the 8 ball, he's tied it up, and he might have a shot in this other yellow here. In fact, he's not even got that. So his yellow's blocking the 8 ball. The 8 ball's already tied up, so he's in trouble as far as trying to run the table. So his only lifeline is the fact that the 8 ball's tied up, and the other problem Zangetsu will still have is the fact that he's got that yellow lying right in the middle of the bottom rail here. The obvious thing he'd have to do is commit to potting the yellow that's over the corner if he gets to the table, and then somehow play some sort of combo if he could. But even that doesn't look reasonable. And of course, meanwhile, Emo's done the right thing and got his red in a position to cover that pocket. This is where you have to then use the tactical side of the game just to manoeuvre your ball into a certain spot that's going to kill or at least reduce the chances of your opponent coming to the table and running out. So there's a bit to go in this rack before things are going to get resolved. But likewise for Emo, he's now decided to improve his red ball, and now the 8 ball is exposed, so that really ramps up the pressure on Zangetsu. Bear in mind the table he's got is pretty crap for him. Now he can hit his yellow and play the little billiard onto the red. Oh, in fact that's well played. He's played the little nudge and the momentum in the yellow's just dropped it in. Well, now he's perfect. That was very well done. I thought he was just going to billiard it in, but he had enough room to just let it nudge and let that momentum of the yellow just follow it into the pocket. So now he's decent. And he couldn't leave an awful lot of angle in this yellow. He wanted to leave it as shallow as he could without snooking himself, just so he could hold the cue ball, stop it leaking away too far. And that was a nice little out there for Zangetsu. And the X is put way on the bottom. Alright, I see what you mean. I've just noticed that. So a dry break for Zangetsu. Now again, this table is really pretty good. Not if you're going to commit to the yellows. If this was me at the table, I'd be going for the reds. I think if only because if I can't get into a spot on that red that's up top there blocking the pocket, then at least I can make it difficult for Emo. And Emo's on the yellows. So Zangetsu now, is he in that middle spot there? See, that's really where he wants to go if he wants to really be fully committed. And he is. And he's got right into the gap. And as soon as he pots that red, that then opens up the game. Although, having said that, Zangetsu's stuck himself in trouble here because he's only got one shot he can play. Didn't get the cue ball out. And now they're all there for Emo. cue ball. See, it's just leaking away. I mean, he's still got the yellow down the bottom here. He's going to try and play the other one across the top. It's gone in. Probably a wee bit hampered by the 8 ball, but again he should be fine because he's just dropping things in dead weight here now. This is the tricky one because he's got to try and get that cue ball with enough room on the yellow, and he has, and now he has to then use the red to probably come back. He can stun back, I think, a little bit off this red. He looks as if he's going forward at him. No, he is going to just stun back into the open. Oh, he's hit that too hard. He's still got a cut, but he just overhit it a bit there. Watch the cue ball though. Oh, almost. Well, I think this is Emo's game. I've never seen him play, but not to be taken lightly. Well, this again, it's as it does in a lot of these 8 ball games and things, and black ball, you do get a mess from time to time where in this case you've got those 2 balls that Emo's just bumped into tied up. Well, they're no longer tied up, but there's also I think that yellow on the right hand side next to the red, just below the side pocket, I think you can get on that yellow at some point and pot it. I think there's just enough room. Well, a lot. What the hell happened there? Shot clock ran out. Shot clock's gone. I think if you were on this side of the table, if I can get my button to work, yeah, you can pot that yellow no problem, but I don't know whether you can pot it from here and play a legal shot, but if you're here, like where he is now, oh, he's missed the yellow into the side, although he's got a second shot. And he's loath to pot that yellow where his cue is because he's using that as a safety net at the moment, blocking the pocket for those 2 reds. So sometimes in these games it's about just improving your situation rather than trying to go hell for leather to run out. But when you're improving a situation, you've still got to keep that cue ball safe. If you're not attempting a pot, you've got to try and make it as awkward as you can. But sometimes also it can backfire on you because you then get you're so bogged down by manoeuvring balls, and suddenly you make a mistake and your opponent's running out. So there has to be a time where you're committed to go for it. And I think that if Emo gets any snip of that yellow on the side, and that's now more awkward because the red has come across the table just to make it a wee bit less accessible, that yellow ball. And Emo's now got 2 shots because Zangetsu fouled. So when you look at this table right now, the odds-on favourite to win this rack has to be Emo. The odds on Zangetsu getting out in this rack are slim. But now Zangetsu's manoeuvred his red to block that pocket, so now Emo's not quite sitting as good. And you know, one shot just makes a difference there. Okay, Zangetsu has got two reds that are going nowhere up top left, but this is also where Emo, again, going back to what I said earlier, you've got to make sure you're making things awkward with the cue balls. Zangetsu is going to at least try and get one of his balls out of there. So that's dealt with one of them. And like I say, Emo could get caught out here. I think he's decided, I mean, that obviously the yellow in the middle of the table is the one to try and get on somewhere where he can maybe play a combo onto the one over the corner. Well, he's missed the pot to start with. And Zangetsu also can, I think Zangetsu can pot, well, he can do two things. He can cut that red onto the red into the side, but this red that's down where his cue is right now, he can stun that and then bump up the table. And he hasn't done it. So he's got to find a way to try and bump that red that's over above the left side pocket. And that yellow that's sitting in the middle of the table now has pockets to go into. So if Zangetsu makes a mistake, he can very easily lose this rack simply because he's not improved that red over the left side. And he can play the bank here, I think. He can have a go at it, but it's an all or nothing shot. If he doesn't get it, he's given away a rack winning chance here for Emo. But even if he does get it, well, he's decided not to. And that's called Emo's bluff here. If Emo pots his yellow over the corner, he's opening up the 8 ball into the top left. So at some point you've got to be committed and go for it. And now might as well be as good a time as any to do it. That red is now in the table above the left side pocket. It's not quite as locked away as it was first of all, and it will go into the side no problem. Problem is getting down on it though. Oh, now we watch the cue ball. Well, Zangetsu had a blast, and well, it's got room to go past the 8 ball, and he's got to be on the 8 ball when he pots this red, because the cue ball's going to come back out into the table. Well, that's a crazy shot from Zang. I never seen him playing such silly shots like that in the last Black Ball World Championships. Because I don't think he put an awful lot of thought into that. I mean, if he had just potted the red, he could have gone to the rail and come out for the black ball. Or the 8 ball anyway. And he's gifted the rack to Emo. He's got a free shot. He's got the last yellow down here very adjacent to the 8 ball. I don't know why he's played that. I mean, it shouldn't make any difference, but I would have left it till last. Maybe he thinks it's easier getting out of there and getting the second last yellow, or the last yellow, and making it easier to go on the 8 ball. And this is a little stunny cut. Couple of rails, you've got to watch where the cue ball's tracking up. I think he's fine. Well, that resulted from Zangetsu's half-hearted attempt at doing something. What he tried to do, I haven't a clue. It just ended up in a straight scratch into the side pocket. So he was breaking off. He's had a ball. A red has gone. The table remains open until you commit to your second shot, but he's not going to be committing to anything here where the cue ball's finished. And he's also scratched. Again, it's the lightness of the cue ball that catches players out as well, because all he wanted to do was a little stun back, just a little half draw back there to keep the cue ball up that end of the table, and he went straight into the pocket from it. Put that little bit more juice on the cue ball, and the cue ball will just fizz off and you'll scratch. A lot easier than you think. Zangetsu on the yellows. Now the 8 ball is certainly going nowhere there. It's well guarded for that top left hand corner pocket. Now, if you got a position where you were on one of these last 2 yellows, not including the one over the side pocket one is a bailout ball. Yeah, I see that. He took the opportunity there to obviously try and improve the 8 ball. It's made no difference at all. It just stayed where it was. Well, a good pattern to get to that last red next to the 8 ball or just above the 8 ball as we look is to pot this red in the bottom left hand corner, come out and play a two-way shot. If you play a two-way shot and get to here, you can pot that one. Well, now he has to be either committed to play an outward cut there or play an even more awkward shot where he has to try and get across onto this red from here, and I don't think this is the right way to go about it. Well, he's got there, so it's just a little dink. Well, I'm going to watch one more rack of this, and then I'm going to go and get my dinner. I think I've been streaming for maybe 45 minutes, but I've maybe been fortunate. I streamed for 2 hours the other day when I did a testing and no problem, and then when I started streaming the match, the bloody thing, even before I'd started streaming the match, the thing went down, PC restarted. Emo says this is the last one anyway. Has to collect the wife. And Fast Eddie, of course, arrives at the wrong time. unless Zangetsu is going to stay on now that Fast Eddie's here. But this will be the last one for me as well. Well, I presume that was a deliberate foul. Zangetsu using his free shot just to have a blast, but he's actually just left it in as much trouble as it was previously. There, all the balls that went apart and then came back together. Yeah, he says he's on the phone, not concentrating. I think that's exactly the type of thing you do when you're not paying attention. He shot the wrong ball. So just before we go, just confirmation that Chimpy from the Netherlands will be playing Acero on Saturday, October the 21st, which is this weekend, at 4 PM. Ignore that, it's British summertime still, and that will be the final of the 2023 Virtual World Straight Pool Championship. And the final is a race to 300. Now, just to give you an idea, the final from a few years ago between Frankel and Semi-Pro was also a race to 300, and it took 3 hours to complete. But it can be quicker than that if either of the guys put some decent runs together. It could end up getting tactical here and there, but it will be an hour or two certainly, and that will be, as I say, Saturday. So good luck to both of those guys, and the reason I say good luck is that neither of them have been in a major event in virtual pool, whether it be VP3 back in the day or Virtual Pool 4. So we're going to have a new champion, whatever happens. Acero's a player who has been at more of these events than Chimpy. Since Chimpy came back and has become more regular than Virtual Pool 4. But Acero's probably, I think most would think he's going to be favourite for the final. But the favourites mean nothing. It's what you do in the day, and whether you can stand up to it when it gets tight. So I just hope it's going to be a good match. So that's all I hope. Not that I can remember, but I mean, you know, when it's a 3-hour match, you've got to take a piss now and again. There's no harm in taking a toilet break or going to get a drink. The question is, Chimpy, whether Acero will tell you he's going to the toilet or going for a drink, or whether he'll just sit there and do nothing. and we all think he's disconnected. Well, Emo has the table at his mercy. You've got to get out in these situations. And, well, it was a sort of half-hearted attempt at a pot. Bear in mind where he's left the cue ball, he's left Zangetsu nothing. Now, you don't have to call a pocket in this game. You just, when you get desperate, you can just blast it and hope. Well, he didn't get the hit, so now again, Emo's got 2 shots. The first one he can use to do anything to improve the table. Not that he really needs to. He's took the ball into the kitchen. I don't know why he's playing this red that's up there in the open. I mean, there's no need to do that. He can just, you know, he's pissing about doing this. I don't understand why he's not committed to get out. Because he's the one that needs to collect the wife. Well, that's not a good idea, Chimpy. Think about it. Just think about what you've said there. We will probably take breaks when someone is at the table. Not a wise move. See if you can work it out yourself. Because if I was playing you in a final and I'm at the table and I'm on a run and you go and take a piss or you go for a coffee or whatever and suddenly I miss and you're not back at the table, you're not back in front of the PC and, well, tell a lie. You might have a point now that I've thought about it, because I'll tell you what I've just realised, we haven't got a shot clock in the fight in the tournament. I was thinking about having we had a shot clock, so that's correct. It just dawned on me there. Well, I don't see any harm in it, as long as you say, I'm just going to the bathroom, and leave that in the chat. You know, whatever it is you're going to do, and that way that the player knows that you might not necessarily be jumping in to play your shot as soon as he's finished. Yes, if it was a shot clock, that wouldn't be the wise move to do it. Right, well, this Emo going to get out here. I mean, this is an absolute doddle to get out here. And I don't know, again, he seems to want to just mess about. Why is he not just trying to run the damn table? He's giving, what you don't want to do is give your opponent a shot in the 8 ball, even though he's not got a pocket for it to get into directly. You just never know. And of course, Zangetsu's messed about so much there, his shot clock's run down. This is a comedy of errors and numptiness here that we're watching. Is he finally going to get this done? So I can go and get my dinner. I wonder if we'll get more teams in next Monday's 9-ball Scotch doubles, or whether everybody's going to give up. I told Stubb that earlier on. I said, get yourself a partner for next Monday, because me and Slim can't stop winning this 9-ball Scotch doubles as hard as we try. See if you can dethrone us. Oh, I had to laugh last night when we should have been beat in that match with you and Mark, and then Steve comes into the room. Right, Fast Eddie, they kept him in there. He's going to get a game. Right, I'm out. Let's have a look. Oh, there's a few rooms up. Oh, was it Mark? Who the hell was it you were playing? Oh, it was Jose. I forgot about that. It was Jose. I mean, all you are to me is just opponents. I don't. you're just an obstacle in the way of winning the tournament. But that was just a perfect timing from Steve, just coming in to disrupt the game and then leave. Right. So I guess that's about an hour or so that I've done a live stream, and needless to say, nothing's happened. I think what I'll do at the weekend, I'm not going to have another browser open. I'm going to have nothing on my second monitor come the weekend. The only thing I will have running will be Discord if Steve happens to be there. Whoever's going to stream it the weekend, Slim won't be doing it. That's a given because he won't be here. He's going to be working. Well, when I stream it the weekend, I'll be using XSplit Gamecaster again. I'll be back with it, where it'll be on the screen. This was just a test with not with XSplit, with Mirrorless Action. I usually use Mirrorless Action when I want to just make a video. I made another one there for Alaskan Truck Simulator about an hour or two ago, and I use Mirrorless Action to do that type of thing. I don't generally use it to stream, but I am doing it at the moment just to see what it was like. It does record and it does stream very good. Mirrorless Action. The only thing is, it's not quite. It doesn't do what Gamecaster does for me. The old Gamecaster is good because I can have the on-screen chat right on my main monitor, and that way everybody can see everything that's said. And there's no other bit of software does that, other than when you're using the XSplit broadcaster or OBS. You can do all that, but it's just a bit more complicated and time involved in setting things up. Using XSplit Gamecaster is a lot more simple. Right, so anyway, Chimpy, good luck for the weekend. Get some practice in, and hopefully, as I say, I can get the stream done and it'll go. But I doubt it. I doubt it will go problem free. So I'm off for dinner. So I will bid you sayonara, and